If you're an Amazon seller with a big catalog, you know the feeling, right? That endless, time-sucking, and let's be honest, kind of maddening world of Amazon ads. How in the world are you supposed to manage it all without losing your mind or your margins? Well, let's dive into how AI is starting to provide a real answer. And look, this isn't some theoretical academic question. This comes straight from a seller on Reddit, and it just perfectly sums up the challenge of scaling an Amazon business today. This is the exact question we are going to unpack right here, right now. 15. Let that sink in for a second. That's how many hours a week one seller said they got back, just by handing their ads over to an AI tool. Now, that sounds amazing, right? But here's the thing. Saving time, that's just the tip of the iceberg. The real revolution is happening somewhere much, much deeper. To really get why sellers are even asking this question, you have to appreciate the sheer size of the problem. When you go from managing ads for, say, 10 products to over 100 or even 1,000, the complexity doesn't just grow, it explodes. It pretty much becomes a full-time crisis of data. You're drowning in thousands of keywords, endless bid adjustments, competitors changing their strategy on you for every single product. Trying to manage that by hand isn't just inefficient, it's basically impossible. You literally can't click fast enough to keep up. And that's what forces sellers to start searching for a better way. And that search always leads to this fundamental choice, this classic seller's dilemma. So what do? Do you hire a super expensive agency? Do you just keep grinding it out yourself? Or do you take that leap of faith on an AI platform? And this seller, they make such a powerful case for keeping it all in-house. Agencies cost a ton of money. And maybe more importantly, nobody knows your products like you do. There's this very real fear of losing that direct connection to your own marketing strategy. But then, on the flip side, another user points out the risk of going all in on automation. A human expert can bring that strategic nuance, that deep brand understanding that a simple algorithm might totally miss. This chart just lays out the trade-offs perfectly. An agency gives you that human brain, but it comes with high fees and you give up a lot of control. An AI tool, on the other hand, can process data 24/7 for a predictable monthly fee, but it does raise that question of who's really steering the ship. It's this constant juggling act between cost, control, and expertise. Okay, so this whole debate can feel a little bit abstract. To get some real answers, we're going to move from just theory to an actual real-world case study. We're going to pop the hood on one of these new AI systems to see how it really works. Now, it's really important to be clear here. We're not just talking about some simple if this, then that automation script. No, we're talking about an AI agent. Think of it as an autonomous system that you give high-level goals to, like, say, a target ad cost, and it manages the entire complex process to get you there. And the tool we're going to look at today is Daniks.AI. We picked it because it's a really great example of this new agentic approach, and it was actually designed by sellers for sellers to solve the very problems we've been talking about. At its heart, the AI brain handles all that relentless, repetitive grunt work. It automatically builds your campaigns. It goes out and finds new keywords while getting rid of the wasteful ones, and it adjusts bids with machine-like precision 24/7. It even keeps an eye on your competitors. This is the heavy lifting that gets you those 15 hours a week back, but this is where most tools stop. And this right here is where things get really, really interesting. We're about to shift our focus away from just clicks and ad spend to the one metric that actually matters at the end of the day, your profit. For years, the whole Amazon ad world has been completely obsessed with metrics like ACOS, clicks, and spend. And don't get me wrong, they're important. But they're just the tip of the iceberg. They tell you a little bit about your advertising efficiency, but they tell you almost nothing about your overall business health. Now, this is the other half of the equation. This is the part of the iceberg that can sink your business. This new generation of AI agents basically gives you a financial X-ray of your entire operation. It pulls in all those hidden costs, FBA fees, storage, Amazon's commissions, shipping, returns, everything. And then it calculates your true profit on every single unit you sell. This is the aha moment. And having this financial data has a huge impact. All of a sudden, the AI isn't just trying to get a low ACOS, it's optimizing for maximum profit. It can see which products are your real moneymakers. It's smart enough to automatically pause ads on items that are running low on stock, which saves you from wasting money and protects your organic rank. It lets you make smart decisions based on your real, actual cash flow. But of course, this level of automation brings up that one single biggest fear for any entrepreneur: giving up control. I mean, can you really trust a machine to make these critical decisions for your business, for your baby? This seller just voices that fear so perfectly. They tried a different tool and felt like it was a total black box. They couldn't influence the strategy, they couldn't set things up their way. That desire to be in control is a powerful and, frankly, a completely valid instinct for any business owner. So, how does a modern AI agent solve this problem? It's all about a system of human guardrails. You aren't just handing over the keys and closing your eyes. You, the human, are still the strategist. You set the big goals like a global ACOS target. You can then override that for specific hero products you really want to push. The AI then executes your strategy, managing millions of tiny micro decisions. And for total peace of mind, you can review a full audit history of every single thing it does. Think of yourself as the coach. The AI is the star player running your game plan. And what's the outcome of this human-AI partnership? Well, the results users are reporting are pretty staggering. We're talking about things like a 40% drop in ACOS while sales are doubling, a 35% jump in conversion rates, and even some stories of 10x revenue growth in just 6 months. That's the power of combining human strategy with machine execution. So this brings us to the ultimate takeaway from this whole deep dive. The real choice isn't some simple manual versus AI decision. It's actually about evolving your own role. It's about graduating from being the person down in the weeds, clicking all the buttons and pulling the reports, into being a high-level strategist who guides an incredibly powerful tool. Which leaves us with a final, crucial question to chew on. As this technology keeps getting better, is the end goal to replace the seller? Or is it to build the ultimate co-pilot, a system that handles all the complex flight mechanics so that you, the pilot, can just focus on the destination? From everything we're seeing, the future of selling looks a lot more like a partnership.